액션 let's go 저 건물을 찾으러
Understand linguistics, we firstly need to know what the fundamental concept of language and communication. I agree because language itself has rule or grammar which make it easier to communicate. Moreover, language is also the main tool of communication, so that message can be conveyed in a complex manner. Therefore, we need to study in more detail in linguistics. I will explain what communication is based on online definition from experts. I've read definition from expert, and the information I can convey is that communication is the process of conveying message or information either through symbol, media, or two-way interaction. So there are three human communication systems. First, the speech communication system, as we do every day. The system including semantic, how words form meaning, syntax, how phrases, clauses, and sentences are formed, and phonology, how speech sound function. And secondly, the writing communication system also consists of knowledge of content, knowledge of linguistics, knowledge of organization, and knowledge of style. And finally, the gesture communication system. We can use the sign language alphabet, sign language lexicon, and sign language syntax. Based on my understanding, people need to understand other knowledge to produce good and understandable communication. Linguistics itself is very helpful to know the grammatical structure and how to communicate well, so that message can be conveyed and can be understood by the audience. Writing is included in the communication system because it fulfills the structure of communication. So that there are those who send message, there are message conveyed as well, and there are recipient of message. Even though they are not true sounds, and as far as I understand, the speech communication system is the most studied by experts because the speech communication system itself is also the main system used by humans to communicate daily. There are four types, namely knowledge of content or information that will be contained in the form of writing, and knowledge of linguistics, which learns how to master words, spelling, and grammar. There is also knowledge of how to organize information, which serves to produce information that is easy to understand and attract readers. And the fourth is knowledge of how to express information to understand how to compose good and structured paragraphs. According to Bernardis P. and Gonzalez M., there are two perspectives on gesture. The first is an independent communication system separate from speech, also to be an additional support when a speaker has difficult conveying expression verbally. And the second is consider that gesture are speech collectively because both are connected in the same system of thinking, despite using different modalities of expressing to convey message. So it can be concluded that gesture communication is the exchange of gesture or symbol, each of which contains a message even though it does not produce sound, but has a meaning that can be understood and can be called a communication system. Informative gestures are gestures that provide additional information usually used to clarify something that conveyed, while communication gesture can be used in showing emotion, giving orders, and can be used without words or speaking. So my understanding in that communicative gesture can be called sign language to communicate because sign language also has grammar, vocabulary, syntax, is a word order in sentence as well, semantic, namely in meaning contained in each word and sentence. My agreement is because sign language also has a clear language structure, is also able to convey message, ideas, and also express themselves without making sounds. Experts also argue that sign language can be called a natural language, which is mainly used by people who cannot speak and are deaf, so that they are able to convey meaning and good understanding. The components that deaf people as a sign language user need to learn are the manual alphabet or finger spelling. The second is the sign language lexicon to represent words including finger spelling, and the last is sign language syntax, which focuses to how signs are combined and sentences including word rules.